Hello, and welcome to the Movie Universe. I'm your host, Movie Fan. Today, as promised, I'm going to be talking about the movie versions of the ever legendary Master Splinter. And just like Monday, I'm going to be going from worst to best for the obvious reasons. And this one's going to be a little shorter because, well, there haven't been too many movies. We'll start with the worst one, and that would be the Michael Bay version of Master Splinter. Do I really need to say it? Do I really need to say how absolutely hideous and cheap he looks? Somebody once said that he looks like a hot dog. I'm not kidding. They actually said that. And you know what? I could go with that theory because, oh my God. He looks like something out of your nightmares with a mustache and a top knot. And for the record, you cannot learn ninjutsu by reading a book. It doesn't work that way. I've studied martial arts for years. You cannot learn from a book, I can assure you. That's another way Michael Bay screwed up besides the look. And, I haven't watched this movie and I still don't intend to. I just watched a few clips and heard a few things here and there because I will not touch this movie at all. I don't even want to go near it. And let's get real, folks. Is this your idea of Master Splinter? Is it? Because it's not mine, I can assure you. All right, let's move on to the next one. And that would be the Master Splinter from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. Well, he's a better look, but he looks like well, let's get real. He looks more like a puppet than his original counterpart did. And yeah, I could see the complaint that some people had for him. Plus, there was one bigger problem. He was not voiced by Kevin Clash, who was the voice to the Master Splinter from the first two films. And on top of that, this Master Splinter, he just doesn't sound as wise as, well, any version of Master Splinter at all. Not even the TV shows. And, it's very disappointing because with Master Splinter, you expect so much more out of him. Sure, you don't really expect him to get in and kick butt all the time, but you expect so much more than what you get. And of course, with all honesty, we can't really blame Jim Henson for this. But still, you think that the people who worked on this would have done a better job, or at least tried to use the original puppet. And that's pretty much all I can say about this Master Splinter. Definitely not the greatest version. So now we're going to move on to the next one. And that would be the Master Splinter from the 2007 version, TMNT. This was the first CGI version ever made, and I mean all CGI. And, it was good work. Master Splinter here, he looks great. I love the look of him. I love the clothes he's wearing. It's definitely traditional. It's got that Shinto samurai look about it. I love it. And of course, even better yet, he was voiced by a legendary Japanese actor, Mako. Better known to most of you people as the voice to Aku. And he was a great choice because, his voice, it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. I mean, sure, he's got the advantage of actually being Japanese, but still, it's what you would expect. I mean, the look, the voice, it's great. But there's one problem. They don't give him anything to do. They barely give him a chance to give any advice to the Turtles at all. And when there's the big final fight coming up, we barely get 2 seconds of him doing anything. And let's not forget, this was not the Jim Henson version where he couldn't really do much because, he was a puppet, and considering his design, he wasn't like the Turtles. So, you couldn't just put a guy in a costume for that one. This one, you could actually have him do stuff, and he doesn't really do anything. And that was just sad, a total waste. Because, when I saw this, I was thinking that Master Splinter was going to really get in on the action, show some serious ninjutsu moves. And he doesn't. And that was a crying shame. Oh, sure, Master Splinter is still an old rat, but, he came to help free Leonardo and save New York. And I think I can actually speak for a lot of the fans when I say that we expected more. They had the right man to play him, they had a great look, and they had the ability. And they just literally just passed up on it. Threw it all away. What a waste. What a waste. Now I think you know who's going to be the top dog in this video, and that would be the Master Splinter from both Movie 1 and Movie 2. As we all remember, he was voiced by Kevin Clash, who we would know better as Elmo from Sesame Street. The voice was perfect. He sounded old, wise, and definitely sounded like a father figure, which was even better yet. If anything, he was one of the first attempts to really make Master Splinter into a father figure. The only thing is they don't really call him their father. I mean, it comes up in later TV shows and that, but this was like the first attempt they really tried to emulate that father figure in him, especially during this scene right here.
I love you all, my sons.
Yep, that sure says it all. Of course, the ability was limited because, like I said before, he was just a puppet who, they operated from the waist up, so they could only do so much with him. What we get out of him is more wisdom, and of course, his story, which is probably the biggest part in movie 1. Because, that's just where we get the origin of Master Splinter, how he learned ninjutsu, and of course his first encounter with the Shredder, that sort of thing. For the first movie, he was one of the things that made it great. Sure, the writing being on par with the original comic book, that had a lot to do with it, as well as the darker nature that they took for this whole thing, which was more true to the comic itself, but they didn't go too dark with it. Without a doubt, this Master Splinter is definitely the greatest of all, because he has the look of an old rat who's lived in the sewer for quite a long time. He's wise, he gets in on the action to help his sons when he's needed, because let's not forget, in movie 2, he helped a little there as well. Again, mostly it was wisdom, but still, he was a big help. And he even lent some comedy to it, just a little bits here and there. Like, for instance,
Practice harder.
truly great stuff. And no doubt, Kevin Clash, his voice is very iconic to the character. By far, the greatest Master Splinter to ever hit the big screen. And that's pretty much all the Master Splinters there is. Or at least until a little later, because I recently found out that they're rebooting the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles again. And believe it or not, Seth Rogen is actually going to produce this version of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So the question now is this a good thing or a bad thing? Because I think we all remember what happened when he produced the Green Hornet. Has he learned his lesson? Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Well, I hope you enjoyed this, because I had a lot of fun talking about the TV versions of Master Splinter, and especially the movie versions of Master Splinter. Let me know what you think. This is Movie Fan, signing off.